Good morning, good afternoon to all the attendees on the line. It's my pleasure to welcome you here today at the webinar on Sugar Community Edition, Sugar Professional, Is It Reasonable to Upgrade? My name is Anna Petelina and I'm responsible for today's webinar. In the first place, I would like to introduce you my colleague, Dmitro Chupilka, who will be presenting shortly. Before we get started, let me go through some housekeeping items. All the attendees are on mute. If you have any issues with sound, please put those on the chat box on the right-hand side and I will settle them for you. This presentation will take no more than 45 minutes, and at the end we will have some time to cover any questions regarding the presentation. So if you come up with a question, please refer to the Q&A panel on the right-hand side as well as the chat panel. And the last but not least, this webinar is being recorded and we will be sending out the entire recording after the call. So let's go ahead and get started. Dmitro, please take the floor.
Thank you, Anna. Good day to everyone. I hope you can hear me well. And today we'll discuss how to choose between community and professional editions by SugarCRM when establishing customer relationship management in medium and large businesses. In fact, it's a burning topic. Having done a lot of different projects in the past 8 years, we have faced the need to use both platforms. We are certified partner of SugarCRM, and this status allows us to say with confidence that we have a good view on how to apply a particular platform to solve specific tasks. Unlike many of our colleagues, we provide not only technical support, but we also support our customers in solving their business tasks. This allows business representatives to explain the business needs and the problems they face, and we can help to work out the optimal solution. Solutions can be based on different platforms, of course. It can be community as well as the professional or enterprise, and the decision depends on what kind of problem we want to solve. Today we'll share our experience we've gained using these platforms. It is important to know that all Sugar platforms use open source approach that allows to configure a flexible system quite fast. The open source approach gives great advantages in solving non-standard tasks when customizing CRM systems to the needs of a specific company. At the same time, when it comes to community, it is often seen as an incentive CRM and as a launch platform for startups and small businesses. The reason is quite clear. There is no need to pay for user licenses because the core of community is available for free download. A large number of companies which can provide optimization and open source code itself, they make you feel confident in the future. For the user, the platform is simple in the sense that it doesn't have much functionality. It is pragmatic in its interface. Interface can be customized in terms of fonts, color schemes, to the specifics and peculiarities of the eyesight. Technicians also like Community Edition because it is a kind of centralized platform. Deployed centrally, it is administrated from a single place. Access is provided through a web browser. Accordingly, the simple setup of access rights and the ability to customize with the popular PHP allow technicians to cope easily with the tasks of Community Edition support for small businesses. But we have a flip side, the flip side of the coin. The flip side of the coin called free CRM is a set of constraints. Primarily, these constraints are functional limitations, those limitations the user faces. Limitations are associated with the convenience of work and a number of features which we will discuss in detail. For you could decide yourself whether limitations are important for your business or not, and make well-weighted and reasonable decision regarding the platform. Which one is the most adequate for you and for your company? Let's start with a few words regarding such a product as SugarCRM. This product appeared not so long ago, and that happened because SugarCRM, the official development vendor of Sugar, they stopped supporting community version 3 years ago. So SugarCRM is based on community edition version 6.5 with all its peculiarities. Of course, this product is extended with a number of features from Sales Agility, the company that provides development and support, but unfortunately that is not the full range of functions which are necessary, and especially not those changes in the core of Sugar that modern business requires. Let's see in detail in which case it is necessary to consider such a system. On the one hand, it is the absence of licenses fee, and this is a very great opportunity to save up. But we must clearly understand that there is always free cheese is only found in the mousetrap. Can we get this piece of cheese out of the trap? To avoid getting caught, we consider in detail the differences that exist between commercial and community editions. So let's start with the business functions, because the business functions is what the user sees, what the interest of the business and the owners. The commercial version functionality can be split into 3 functional domains. For the lead management and marketing, there is a convenient tool for leads conversion, converting leads into other objects of CRM system that greatly simplify the collaboration between marketing and sales. It is also important to note that there is a huge number of integrations with digital marketing tools, ranging from simplest needs of MailChimp mailing integration that supports community as well, to the much more developed marketing automation systems which are gaining more and more popularity in our customer-oriented digital world. These are integrations with Acton, with Marketo, with Sales Fusion, and a variety of other digital marketing tools. In terms of sales management, the key difference is that in the commercial editions of Sugar, the sales budget planning and execution control are already implemented. They're implemented both for managers' quotas and for the cash flow generated by transactions and orders. For companies whose business presupposes support of a large number of customers, there is also a special module which is called Customer Portal in the Enterprise Edition, and it allows you to create a communication environment, a secure one, to handle client service requests efficiently. It is certainly one of the advantages of commercial Sugar. And for its convenience, CRM system Sugar is ranked among the top 3 worldwide solutions. It ordinarily comes with a native mobile client that runs on iOS and Android. The functionality that helps to manage all the data accumulated in the CRM system, which gives not just possibility but flexibility as well. The first thing that users appreciate is filters. Since filters in community are to be programmed, users can't control the filter content or to readjust it to fit their needs. In professional editions, there is a tool which gives users possibility to configure how they want to select data. Moreover, the filters can be used as dashlets on users' dashboard in Sugar. The same works for reports. Reports configurator and criteria setup are available to users. The user-defined selection criteria can be used either in a classical form when calling report, or as a custom user-defined dashlet on the Sugar dashboard, or even a PDF report that can be automatically sent to the subscriber. There are other very useful features like inline editing. Just edit customer data directly on the list view without leaving the list. The global search, favorites, records I would like to track, and all of them saves users time. Saves users time when they are running a large number of data. There is another very useful and popular trend, which is incorporation of so-called social CRM functions, which with streams of discussions following Twitter, like a social networking site where important information from someone's point of view is posted, with which users can comment on. And of course, in the world of email, we live in the world of email. So in the world of email, the option which allows to attach email to CRM object automatically is a must. It's a foundation. And in the commercial editions, this functionality is included just to be configured. Unfortunately, in community, it is necessary to program all those things. And forget about the plugins for Outlook and Gmail Community Edition. They are not available as the basic elements of the community. But plugins mentioned work fine with the commercial versions and are updated regularly to work with the recent mail, with the recent Office applications. As I have already said, one of the important benefits of the commercial editions is the flexible configuration. It is configurable through Studio, where many elements such as filters, reports, and dashlets can be customized. And this applies not only to web applications, the same works for mobile client as well. It provides the ability for the administrator to manage the configuration and publish objects and objects fields, making them visible on the smartphones. That allows you to work with the communication channels of different speed. And the client is available on iOS and Android. Special attention should be given to the opportunity of managing templates. So PDF template configurator provides the ability to generate documents on the basis of Sugar data. It can be brief that you send to a colleague or to your boss or client, or a complex document such as appendix to the agreement or agreement itself. Studio was significantly changed in professional Sugar editions. Probably the major change is that it has become very stable, really stable. It doesn't generate bugs anymore, and as I will explain a little bit later. But regarding functionality, Pro Edition was extended with several capabilities. First of all, there is so-called list dependency, when the value of one list controls the values of another list. Second of all, there were added calculated fields, helping to specify a formula and calculate value ad hoc. That is very convenient because users make decisions quicker based on this information. Regarding integrations, a lot of different applications were developed for community. You can check SugarExchange.com site if you are seeking for some integrations or a special functionality. But unfortunately, the number of applications available for community decreases because the old version of Sugar doesn't support the new technology, and the most of modern applications are available only for professional versions. This applies to the plugins to Gmail, Outlook, as I mentioned before, as well as to other applications like webinar tools that are necessary if you do marketing on the international scale. And some aspects are related to architecture. This is primarily the so-called hooks, which are used for integration purposes. Refer to them as to events you would like to respond to. So this feature allows you to integrate applications in a simple way, having built this safe integration at the same time. Safe integrations. Safe integrations and restricted access are the basement of the successful CRM data management. The restricted access is provided by so-called roles and teams management. That is a must functionality for companies of 10 and more employees that use CRM regularly. Since teamwork is a demand of modern business, modules should be accessed separately as well as data. The community allows to restrict access just to the whole CRM object characteristics. Other restrictions have to be programmed. Whenever we want to hide a field, we must make code changes. Meanwhile, in the Professional Enterprise Edition, the core itself provides the field-level security. That gives administrators the desired flexibility in setting up access to the individual fields. And LDAP Active Directory simplifies administration of many users as well. Vendor provides patches to the customers directly whenever vulnerabilities are detected. In fact, one patch is usually issued every 7-12 months. These patches are really critical, as a modern CRM should be available not only within the local network, but via the internet, on the laptops, and on mobile devices. As I've said before, Studio began to work steadily in professional editions. Before that, floating error inside Studio and community could lead to the metadata destruction and consequently malfunction of the system. Hopefully, data remained untouched, but several times we were asked to restore community functioning when the community studio changes were made by the company administrator. So in the commercial version, this defect was eliminated. In spite of our 8 years experience with the community core, it's quite hard to explain what was changed because the bug was unpredictable and floating. The complexity and renewability of the password is usually demanded to increase data security. And the single login significantly increases the comfort. Now we realize the contrast that creates the need of making decisions and how to choose on what to build the CRM and how to build it. Therefore, it is important to be aware of the risks and address them if you decide to choose the community edition. So, firstly, you need to minimize the number of customizations you would like to perform with Studio. We've fixed a lot of bugs in Community Core, but metadata corruption bug was not caught. It can be assumed that the bug exists due to some combination of community and system environment. Perhaps the bug appears due to some browser's features. It is very difficult to say when it arises because bug has non-systemic nature, but rather set consequences. Therefore, it is necessary to remember that choosing community as a platform, you will eliminate all the flows only by programming. The same, code changes should be done to fulfill user requests to add, delete fields, or change visibility. Please be aware that you may get numerous requests of this kind. When programming, you'll need to ensure compatibility with the current, new, and upcoming versions of browsers. Browsers are the environment for web applications, and this environment is changed by their vendors, providing new abilities for consumers and providing security for surfing. As you know, from time to time, browser vendors refuse to support the legacy technologies and components. It means that someday the updated browser refuses to work with some functionality as it happened a lot of times before. This can be a trap because rolling back to the previous version of the browser may raise the security risks. Anyway, the option here is to catch and eliminate bugs with programming yourself. There are many agencies that publish non-vulnerability of applications, application servers, technologies. If the security is critical for you, you would either use the services of the companies like Integros, signing service contract with us, or just involve your IT team to address these issues. Mobile application. When it comes to creating mobile access to CRM data, there is no other way than to create a mobile application tailored to your requirements. Why? Because most of the applications available just publish either contacts or opportunities with the set of fields predefined in the core. Rarely could be found the application that shouldn't pass the fields customization stage. So, when choosing community as a platform, whenever you face the need for mobile access, you will automatically face the need of mobile application development. There is no doubt that we have a trend in the cloud, and this is our future. This is our future, and even already today, because using cloud is a key to decrease expenses, making a real benefit for small and medium-sized businesses. Large companies and corporations rarely use the cloud for CRM system for various reasons. But if you are looking at community version as a platform for CRM, while considering the path to the cloud, you have to remember that all the costs of organizing the clouds your company has to cover itself. With the commercial Sugar, you have the ability to use Sugar Cloud, and the cost of the cloud is already included into the subscription. Choosing one or another option, you should consider this aspect too. So, to minimize the risks, as I've already said, is only possible using co-development. It presupposes a certain cooperation with an external provider, such as Integros, or involvement of your own professional team of engineers and programmers. Please be aware that in any case, there is a need to maintain two environments. Firstly, the product CRM environment your salespeople use. The second one is a test environment where you deploy new updates and enhancements so responsible persons can check compatibility with the integrations. When making enhancements, there is a need to take care of documenting the source code, and prepare documentation of business logic as well. The changes of the core should be documented very carefully because the team staff changes, and therefore the knowledge has to be caught up by the next team generation. Otherwise, the risks of the continuous support arise. Of course, you need to arrange the operational budget to support the CRM to address browsers' compatibility issues, because we can't influence browsers' vendors' plans, aren't we? They have their own vision on their product and decide themselves when to deliver updates, what exactly to deliver, what to allow and what to prohibit or deprecate. All of these things will require additional budget. These questions are like a snow globe. The initial customizations may look like snowball, but rolling the snowball with the new small changes, the snowball becomes a snow globe. And the growing globe needs just more and more resources to move it. The same thing happens when the modern business is growing, and everyday marketing and sales require more and more, demanding the faster response from IT. There is no way in getting around it, because business has to be profitable. Respectively, the more algorithms are coded, and community doesn't provide any other way to support decision making, the more difficult it becomes to build an enterprise CRM tool, a system that is designed for growing business, systematic business. Support of community becomes more and more complicated, more and more expensive, and response time grows. For the purpose of getting out of the circle, there is a special software called Business Rules Management System, or BRMS. BRMS contains a special means of management rules and events, as well as tools for so-called visual programming. That, in this case, naturally, a programmer develops connections to data sources, a gateway for integration, and data repository. The description of data itself to be used then by business experts. Because the control of decision-making tables is given into business experts' hands completely, those are well-known top-secret methodologies that can be noticed in the sales and marketing in form of numerous Excel tables, where they quickly read and change the price list, defines criteria, or determining the amount of discounts and other characteristics. BRMS describes logic using language that's close to human language, and data interpretation rules are drawn in the form of either decision-making cubes or data processing. Using these elements means that business experts configure the logic instead of development, the code. Configuring is much cheaper than development and increases the speed of decision making in any field of application, marketing tasks, sales, logistics, anywhere. The variety of this kind of technology application is impressive. In any case, if we are going to go with community as a platform, we have to be sure that we can provide users with the ability to do some analytics. It is not included and can be included, therefore it has to be added. And to compensate the restriction of mobile capabilities that are not available in community. Although, if we use the commercial version, things with these elements look much easier. To answer the question, should I stay with CE or migrate to professional, and when to migrate, one should consider the cost of ownership at first, and risks that affect the cost of ownership secondly. Why? Because behind the illusion of free community, it requires significantly larger budgets for vision than Sugar Professional, because it is necessary to create desired functionality, to take care of technology compliance in our technology changing world. And the natural counterbalance for this cost is the price of licenses that is given as subscription per user. People often ask us what number of users is reasonable to use with a free platform, and when to think about the paid platform. Okay, from our experience, we have made several combinations that deserve attention. If you have a small team from 10, 15 up to 20 people and complete set of functions to carry out marketing, sales, customer service, in this case, it is much more efficient to use professional than free version in terms of cost of ownership, even in the next 3-5 years. Because if we use as a basis 10 users, it will cost $3,800 per year to subscribe them all. But unfortunately, even security revision, seeking and fixing the random bugs, regular browsers compatibility maintenance go far beyond yearly license budget. And this doesn't include the need to make improvements, such as reports and filters, which themselves require budget when we use community. After 20 users, the picture is not so clear, and there is a need to carefully evaluate what fits you better. If you have 50 or more users, and with a small number of roles, that's important, it's typical for e-commerce stores and the call centers where there are no more than 2-3 roles. It can be more efficient to use community edition in terms of cost of ownership. But please be informed about the risks and avoid them in advance or find out how to compensate them. So, if you decide to migrate, you must be aware of some features of the migration. After completing several migration projects, we made more than 10 migration projects, we've discovered a hidden key feature that the architecture of the community and the flagship versions of Sugar are not compatible. This means that all the customized code will need to be revised. The same as with integration connectors from Sugar data connection side. The issue arises because of changes of the data structure. The architecture affects API calls used for data exchange. No matter what you do in CRM, when CRM is migrated, it is necessary to provide data cleansing because time makes data outdated, not relevant. It is important for managers who want to see reports in retrospect to be confident in their reports. It is difficult to explain the boss why a report gets data from the old instance after migration. And if there is a need to gather data for the report from both versions, that is the moment when you clearly realize that your snowball has become a snow globe. And one more important thing, in order to achieve the return on the investments in the commercial edition, it is important to educate users of the new opportunities that when using Sugar. This primarily concerns the work with filters, global search, dashlets, activity streams, and mobile client. Users have no idea of the full functionality they can get in paid editions. Therefore, it is important to give them the appropriate training. And in terms of administration, the significant change refers to the security approach. And admins have to revise access metrics, and this task requires time as well. So if you decide to make an estimate, we suggest to perform 2 audits, and we can help to carry them out. Technical audit involves analysis of the customizations and modifications implemented, and analysis of the integration connectors. Usually it takes from 2 to 7 days and requires the access to the source code. Audit allows to get a picture of the system we have to deal with, and identify the pitfalls and technical risks to be avoided during the migration. Business audit, it usually carried out from a week or 2 weeks. It involves the study of the processes, because the new tool will allow to organize the processes using new functionality, and auditing, database auditing, reporting. The transition from programming to the configuration will take time as well, which will allow to get the most out of the migration. The result of these two audits is typically a migration plan and a budget estimation. It includes an assessment of the improvements implementation, including the improvements that you would like to bring into CRM. It is important to remember that many of the tasks that you would like to code in community can turn into simple configuration of the existing functionality of the paid versions, such as professional or enterprise. So it is important to clarify how to implement your needs and improvements using paid versions functionality. And of course, the migration of the company that has been working with the CRM system for a long time requires risk management plan. So outcomes. Definitely you can build a professional level CRM based on Sugar. But as I've said, it is important to remember the risks and limitations that exist and evaluate the cost of ownership when choosing the core for solution implementation. When you are going to run community, you have to think of analytical tools and mobile applications to be integrated with CRM, and some kind of integration with the external workflow application to address the changes according to business needs. In any case, keep in mind the security issues and arrange budgets, as this is the only way to ensure safe access to the data, not only within the network, local network, but also from the internet, which is now a necessity for the most businesses. So no matter which option you choose, you can always count with our support. So at this point, I would like to say goodbye to you. Thank you for your time. Thank you all who has joined us and become interested in the topic. So Anna, please take the floor.
Thank you, Dmitry, once again. I would like to add a small remark. Please bear in mind that questions that we didn't answer to during the presentation will be processed later on and will be sent out in the follow-up emails to the askers. And the last thing for today, after the webinar, you will see a very short survey on your screens. It will be highly appreciated if you leave your feedback. Once again, thank you for being with us today. You can always rely on our help and on our support. Goodbye and have a good day.